Have you ever cried, David? God bless you all. When I was young, I would occasionally, like, I remember my dad my dad said I was like 2, but it can't be. I remember it. I remember breaking my arm. And so I'm thinking I was like 3 or 4. It's one of my really early memories, but I broke my arm, and then I don't remember what happened immediately after that. But then I remember being in the truck. Some guy was driving me to the hospital, and I was sitting in the truck with my dad with a broken arm. Still got the I don't know if you can see it. See that nasty scar right there?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. They said I wouldn't have full use of my arm anymore and stuff. But anyway, I remember being in the truck and I was crying. And then I just thought, why am I crying over this? What's this change? Like, again, I'm like 3 or 4. I think, why am I crying over this? And I stopped. But I would occasionally cry in enraged. Like if I was enraged and I couldn't get my way and I couldn't control things and stuff like this, I would cry in rage. After I became a Christian, I could kind of get choked up over like someone becoming a Christian or something like that, some awesome testimony or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a the sister from Somali Christian TV, when she was sharing her testimony. There's an actual live stream out there. Bonus points so anyone can find it. That where you actually see David break a tear when he hears her testimony. I don't know if you remember that or not, but it's a true story.
So there's that, and then as far as like getting choked up or crying about something, like someone's suffering, something bad happening to someone, because I don't have any feelings when something bad, like everyone could be beheaded in front of me. There's no bad feelings that I have, but that's happened about 3 or 4 times. And I've mentioned those previously, but matter of fact, I talked to Matt Fradd. That interview is supposed to come out tomorrow, Pints with Aquinas, but he was asking me about this stuff, and that, like, the first time was our third son was born. You don't know what's wrong, and he had myotubular myopathy, but you don't know that. It takes months of tests to figure out. But he's born with what's called floppy baby syndrome, meaning baby's born, baby's not moving, baby's not breathing. All he's got is a heart rate. And that could be a brain problem, could be anywhere in the nerve, could be in the nerves, could be in the muscles. They don't know. They have to start running tests, and they'll just, okay, what's the most likely? And they'll ask you about family history, because they'll try and find out if it's something that runs in a family or something like that. Anyway, we didn't know. Baby not moving. And so after several hours, it's night, and my wife and I pray, and praying to God, all of a sudden, like, I get choked up, but it was along the lines. It was along the line when it happened. When I got choked up after something else, something bad happening. It was along the lines of like, what the hell was that? It was like that. It was like that. What just happened? What was that? What was that weird feeling?
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. It was like that. Yeah, it was like, so that was the first time in my life I'd ever felt bad for something that was going on with someone else.
Wow.
But it was almost like what just happened. So anyway, there was that. And then another time, when our 4th son, who had the same disease, died. My wife actually did CPR and brought him back. But while she's doing CPR, she tells me to call paramedics. I call paramedics. And it was a situation where a nurse had turned down the alarm. Because he's hooked up to an alarm. If something goes wrong, alarm goes off. A nurse had turned it down because she's like, oh, I'm going to be right beside it, so I'll hear it. I don't need it blasting. So she turned the alarm down. Marie's just in the next room. She didn't hear it. She didn't hear the alarm as he's dying. He dies. No alarm. All of a sudden, open the door, and the alarm's been going off for a while. And his heart rate's at 0. Everything's at 0.
Wait, the nurse left?
No. She left without turning the volume back up. So we think it's, it doesn't, you can, if anything goes wrong, you hear the alarm. A nurse turned the volume down super low and then forgot to turn it back up when she left. So we did not know. So, right then, I'm calling 911, and I pray, and I say something along the lines of, God, if Paley has to go at any point, let it be my fault, not my wife's fault. Because she'll blame herself. She'll blame herself. If she's in the next room and he dies, she's going to blame herself. So I prayed. I said, God, if he has to go, let it be my fault, not her fault. I can take it. And I got choked up when I said that. And then the other time was at Nabil's funeral. This is when I actually cried. I actually cried. And this would be the first time I actually cried over something happening. Because like Nabil died.
Like tears streaming out.
Like feeling sad, or?
Yeah, felt really sad and yeah, tears. And that was like Nabil died. I didn't feel anything. My mom died. I didn't feel anything. My dad died. I didn't feel anything. Nothing like that. And matter of fact, I noticed it would the first times when I was talking to God in prayer, right, with one son, and then the next time I got choked up, it was praying to God for another son, Paley. And then the third time was while talking to Nabil's parents, because they didn't like me. And I was never nice to them after Nabil converted. It was like, yeah, he converted. So what? Not grasping how traumatic that is to their family, their son leaving Islam. And so there's a big line of people who are going up to, greet the families. Got his Christian family and his Muslim family there. And the Christian family is kind of fine, right? They believe he's in heaven. So they were fine. Nabil's family was absolutely sobbing. And I was like, do I even go up to them? Because, this might make it worse. Do I even go up to them? Do I even walk up to them? They know, in their minds, I'm the cause of all this, like him converting and so on. So do I want to go up to them? But I know they always like my wife. They never stop liking my wife. And so, but I don't want to leave my wife alone. So I'm going to go up. And right when I get there, like his dad kind of turns away from me and he's like facing Marie and stuff. And I'm like, okay. And anyway, then he eventually turned to me and stuff. And I apologized to him for not being nicer to him and not, just not being nicer to his family and stuff like that as they were going through difficult time. And I'm talking about like with Nabil's conversion. I was just, so what? He converted. What's your point? So anyway, I apologize. But yeah, as I'm like hugging Nabil's dad and his mom and his sister, I said the same thing to all three of them. I broke down and started crying. And then I walked away and like 4 or 5 steps and it's just gone. Boom. It just turned off all of a sudden.
Wow.
And so anyway, I was thinking about it later and I was like, okay, all 3 times I actually like got emotional. It was while talking to someone. So I don't know if like some part of the brain is activated and that actually changed something if you're actually communicating. Because if I'm by myself, there's nothing. It's never been anything. Anyway,